Welcome to the presentation about the evolving relationships of marriage and cohabitation. Today we'll explore the world of marriage and cohabitation, how society views these relationships, and the current trends, and the question of commitment. We'll also discuss the impact of stability with these relationships on individuals and families. As someone who has observed both marriage and cohabitation within my own family and friends, I've seen firsthand the different dynamics at play. For instance, my cousin and their partner chose to cohabit for several years before deciding to get married. They found that living together without the immediate pressure of marriage allowed them to build a strong foundation of trust and understanding. On the other hand, my best friend got married relatively quickly after meeting their partner, and they believe that the formal commitment of marriage brought them closer together and provided a sense of security. Both relationships are thriving, which shows that there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. It's about finding what works best for each couple and respecting their choices. Marriage and cohabitation. What's the difference? Ever wondered what sets marriage apart from cohabitation? Let's dive into the fascinating world of relationships and uncover the key differences between tying the knot and living together without the legal paperwork. Marriage is a legally recognized union that comes with social and economic benefits, often associated with traditional values and societal expectations. It's generally viewed as a more stable and committed relationship. On the other hand, cohabitation involves two people living together in a romantic relationship without legal ties. It has become more common and is now often seen as a step towards marriage or an alternative to marriage. How does society view marriage and cohabitation? Society has a lot to say about marriage and cohabitation. From traditional views to modern perspectives, we will explore how these relationship choices are perceived and what that means for couples today. Both marriage and cohabitation are driven by love and companionship. However, married adults tend to report higher levels of satisfaction and trust in their relationships compared to those who are cohabiting. Interestingly enough, according to a Pew Research Center survey, most Americans find cohabitation acceptable, even for couples who don't plan to get married. This acceptance is particularly high among younger adults, with 78% of those aged 18 to 29 in favor of cohabitation. Additionally, a majority of Americans believe that cohabiting couples can raise children just as well as married couples. It's worth noting that individual identities are shaped and transformed through marriage and cohabitation. This transformation can impact how people perceive themselves and their roles within the family. However, there are still distinct perceptions associated with each. What are the trends? Trends in relationships are always evolving. Are more people choosing to cohabit before marriage? Is the institution of marriage still holding strong? Let's take a look at the latest trends and what they tell us about love and commitment in the 21st century. These trends and statistics relate to marriage and cohabitation in the United States, highlighting key findings from recent research. These trends also show a significant increase in cohabitation rates, especially among those with less education. It's important to note that the decline in marriage rates and the rise in cohabitation rates over the past few decades indicates changing societal attitudes towards marriage and cohabitation. This slide presents a detailed table showing the racial ethnic patterns of marriage in 2021. The data is divided into two sections for men and women, with each section containing a table that displays the percentages of spouses from different racial ethnic groups. The data shows the highest percentages observed are for unions between white and Asian marriages. We can also interpret from this data that there is some diversity in marriage patterns across different racial ethnic groups, which is becoming more apparent since this data was acquired. The evolving definitions of marriage and cohabitation reflect broader social trends and inequalities. These changes are influenced by demographic shifts, social, economic, and cultural factors, which in turn affect relationship dynamics and family structures. Here you will see that there was a decline in marriage rates among unmarried adults from 1950 to 2021. It indicates that marriage rates have fallen by 2/3 since 1970, with a notable decline from around 90 marriages per 1,000 unmarried adults in 1950 to about 30 marriages per 1,000 unmarried adults in 2020. So when we delve into the rising trends of cohabitation, over the past few decades, we've seen a significant increase in the number of adults choosing to live with an unmarried partner. This shift further demonstrates changing societal attitudes towards relationships and commitment. In the 1990s, only about 3% of adults were cohabiting, but today that number has risen. In addition, the data represents the effects of education as it relates to the choice to cohabitate, with college graduates who both have completed college less likely to make the choice compared to those where one has completed college or neither have completed college. This trend is particularly pronounced among younger adults, who are more likely to view cohabitation as an acceptable and practical step in a relationship. Overall, this data also represents that no matter the education level, couples are choosing to live together instead of being married. The differences in relationship stability between married couples and those who are cohabiting. Research shows that the higher levels of satisfaction and trust reported by married adults could be attributed to the legal and social recognition of marriage and a sense of security and commitment. The stability challenges faced by cohabiting couples could be attributed to the lack of the same level of commitment and societal support as marriages, leading to higher instability. Research shows that cohabitation can have long-term effects on relationship stability, and that cohabiting relationships may face more challenges in terms of stability compared to marriages, which can affect the well-being of children. Despite these challenges, a majority of Americans believe that cohabiting couples can raise children just as well as married couples. To commit or not to commit? That is the question. It's an age-old question, whether to commit to marriage or opt for cohabitation. And this is a big decision. When it comes to deciding whether to commit to marriage or cohabitation, there are several factors to consider. Love and companionship are often the primary reasons for both. Financial reasons, social and cultural expectations, legal benefits, and personal beliefs and values also play a significant role in this decision. In conclusion, we've explored the evolving dynamics of marriage and cohabitation. We've seen how societal views have shifted with increasing acceptance of cohabitation and changing trends in relationship stability. Whether to commit to marriage or cohabitation is a personal choice influenced by various factors. It's important to recognize that both forms of relationships can be fulfilling and successful, depending on what works best for the individuals involved. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.